Good morning from 2024, somewhere in the southeast of England. Getting out and getting some fresh air. Looks pretty dark this morning. The rain's kicked off. I just wanted to say a few words about the beginning of this year. Oh, the rain. This might have been a bad idea. Didn't bring a brolly. So most of this first week I am going to put out some finance related blogs to kickstart everything for the new year. I did some summaries of my financial 2023. So what you will see is a post about how I keep my food bills so cheap, which I think lots of you will find useful, because there's lots of little elements to it which some people may be able to do, some people may not, and coupled with the types of cooking I do, helps to keep everything cheap, cheerful, but no one starving to death. So that's the first post I'm going to put out, and that will come tomorrow. I have also done a post about my income for 2023. That's my calendar financial year. And this is a post that I did back in December, just before I came away for Christmas. So a couple of the figures are slightly different because a couple of things have been added since I did the post, but it's not dramatic, and it still gives you an idea of all the different ways that you may be able to make money. Now, one of the things I say in that post is that I'm not going to disclose how much money I got from working tax credits in Universal Credit. It's a very contentious subject, and if I do say how much it is, people will make comments. If I don't say, people will make comments. What I will say is that it amounts to about 24% of my total incoming money. So it's not an enormous amount of money. You certainly couldn't live off it. It doesn't pay my rent. It contributes to other stuff, but it doesn't really cover, what we consider basic essentials, and it's not really supposed to. They've kept it low because it's supposed to make you want to go into work and all that sort of thing. Anyway, so there's that post, and then there is going to be my outgoings post, which I was going to finish once I got down here for Christmas, because there were a couple of things I had to wait to finish. And then of course my laptop died, so I had to wait on that one. And I've kind of run out of time, so I'm going to try and get that edited in time, but it will come out after the other two. And that gives an overview of what I spend, how much the things that I have to spend cost, and it just gives an overview of the difference between what I spend each year, which is mostly things that I have to spend, like rent, gas, electric, council tax, things like that, versus what I've made. And I have mentioned briefly also that this year, for the first time in 6 years, I have actually come in making slightly more money than I spent. So I have broken even this year. Hold on, there's a dog on the loose. It's alright. She spotted me and thought I was good for her. She wandered into the road and I heard that car coming and I thought, oh my god. She was just intrigued by me and started floating across the road. World away, you see, no worries in the world. It's alright, no problem. Almost lost a dog to a car in the road. This dog spotted me and decided to come across the road and there was a car coming. This dog is really fascinated by me. She's a beautiful white Labrador. She's gorgeous. But she's not paying attention to her surroundings. I'm waiting for them to go off the road because she keeps going into the road because I'm here and I'm distracting her from her mission. She knows where she's going. Anyway, so yes, so my 3 main posts to kick off 2024. This is the problem with this road. This is a country lane. It's a bit like being back home, really. They're crazy. Yeah, so 3 main, the big financial posts, which I would like to have got out before the end of last year, but things conspired against me technology-wise, but that's okay. And then I'm probably going to go straight into doing all this vintage stuff that I've acquired, all these clothes that have been kind of thrown in my general direction, which I've been told just make what you want and keep it, I don't care. So that's going to be my first little side hustle for 2024, is sorting and selling a load of stuff on Vinted. And again, Vinted is a really easy way to declutter and make a few quid. It is an app only for smartphones, so if you don't have that, this isn't going to be relevant to you, I'm sorry to say. But if you do, it's a great way to sell stuff because you don't have to deal with the postage costs. It's all done at the other end by the buyer, and then you get sent a delivery label that you stick onto the front of the parcel, and you can send it in multiple ways. So you can use Royal Mail or like Yodel or Every, or use those in post boxes, and we have loads of those that have sprung up locally. They're in every petrol station, every supermarket forecourt, and it just makes life really easy. So I can get a sale and have it bundled up and off in the post, you know, the same day, because I have post boxes pretty much across the road from me. So yes, so vintage will give me a good kickstart. And of course then we're back to normal life, back to cleaning jobs, back to, well, whatever else January throws at us, I guess. I don't have that many plans for this year at the moment in my head, but that of course will change. Then I've sorted some of the stuff that I really needed to sort, like the pension. That was the biggie that I needed to get sorted out by the end of the year, and I just managed it. So that was good. And then we shall see what happens in this new year. I want to do more car camping, but in part because of all these cleaning jobs I'm now doing, it really restricts when I can go. So I need to be strategic about it. And I want to go on one as soon as the weather starts to improve. That'll probably be April now, because I want to go up to the Lake District, which can be pretty cold. So there isn't going to be anything for a few months, but I have one last sleeping layout to try out, see if it works better than the other two that I did last year. So I will be giving that a go when I do that first trip. And the problem is, if I don't get enough sleep, I get these really awful banging headaches which last like 3 days and make it really hard for me to function. They're almost like migraines, and I never used to get anything like that. But I find it really hard to get anything done. My vision goes funny. And if I've got to go off and do cleaning jobs feeling like that, it's going to be a small challenge. So I need to be careful how I plan my car camping trip, so that if that happens, I've got time to recover before the next cleaning job. And this is it's that time of life, it's my age, it's that perimenopausal thing, and headaches have become the problem, really, because they're not just headaches, they can be really crippling, actually. And I've never experienced anything like that until the last couple of years. But I'm finding ways to manage it. They are triggered by poor sleep. They are also triggered by dehydration, which is why I always try to drink 2 litres of water a day. I think it makes a difference. Limiting alcohol also makes a big difference. And trying to get out and walk and get fresh air most days of the week. Those all seem to help. So that's all I need to be really aware of, really, is that I need to make sure that I'm not getting any of those headaches. Because that makes doing everything else tricky. Something else I'm going to do towards the end of January is, someone asked if I would do a walkthrough of how you process a monthly claim for universal credit as a self-employed person. I'm going to have to wait until the 20th, because that's when I have to submit my own claim for the month, and I want to make sure that I'm not missing any steps by doing it from memory. So keep an eye out for that on the 21st of January. I will do that claim on the 20th and upload the video on the 21st. So if you are self-employed and you have now found yourself migrated from working tax credits and you're on the universal credit system, I am going to give you a walkthrough. And I know there are lots of people who are still being migrated, and I think 2024 is the last year for migration, so I hope that this will be a useful post, and I will run through every step as is my claim, and then hopefully that'll help some of you. So that's something else I'm going to do, and then the rest of my posts will be more of the usual recipes, yellow sticker buys at the supermarket, frugal recipes, and getting through winter, because January, February, March are gonna be cold season, and we can all, those of us who will be living in our dressing gowns for most of the next 3 months, can find safety in numbers and consolation in each other, rather than people who complain about it because they don't know how cold it is. So if you are one of those people, stick with me, and we should embrace the multiple layers together. I'm going to give you a quick look of where I am at the moment. I'm out on the local sports field. Give me a moment. It's very dark today. It's raining, but it's kind of coming and going in fits and starts. No matches on today. It's lovely and quiet, apart from the road. So these are nice places to come out and just clear your head. You can go out for an hour and do a circle of the part of the village and just kick-start your metabolism for the day. It's not particularly cold. And that rain. I didn't bring a brolly. Oh look, sun. Sun's peeping through the clouds. Look at that. Ooh. Nice to be out in the green fields of home. I think I'm going to head home. The clouds on the horizon look very ominous, and my little phone is getting a bit soggy, and I've not got anywhere to shelter on this big old field. Yeah, so I think that's it. I think that covers my intro to 2024 and the sort of things you might expect in January. Do stick with me if you're finding my content useful or just consoling. I think that some people who are watching have found something that really resonates, and it doesn't even have to be useful information. It can just be, oh, thank God I'm not the only one who feels like this, or has this weird take on something, or sees things in this particular way. YouTube is a wealth of little channels like mine, and it's just finding the person that you resonate with. And I have found several channels that I really resonate with. They're channels like mine, they're very basic, they're point and shoot, and I really enjoy them. There are others that are more professionally produced. There are others that are lifestyles that I don't have but interest me, like van life and stuff like that, and it's really fun to see how people are negotiating their version of the world. And I really love that. I think YouTube is better than television. I like the rawness of some of the channels which are like mine, which are just, yeah, look at me, but this is fine. This is what real humans look like. And there is a lot of rubbish on YouTube. There's a lot of very polished, very fake, very overly sponsored posting, but you could sift through that. There's lots of good stuff. It can just take a bit of time. The more channels that you watch that you like, the more YouTube will show them to you in the home feed. So you just need to watch. And if I only find a couple of channels a year that really resonate with me, that's 2 new channels I've got. And there's only so many hours of the day you can spend watching YouTube. And it does tend to build up. When my laptop was down, and I'm not keen on watching YouTube on my phone, there was a real build-up of posts that I missed. Thankfully, because it was Christmas and post-Christmas, a lot of people were busy with family and doing other things, so there weren't as many posts as normal, because routines were a bit different. So it wasn't too bad, but it did take me a couple of days to get through the backlog, and I did drop a few posts where I just thought, I haven't got the time to sit here for an hour and a half and watch this live feed or whatever it was. So I was a bit picking and choosing which things to watch, and I've kind of caught up now. So back to normal now, which is good, because I don't be spending all day watching YouTube, even though I'm still on my away break. God, I love it out here. Every day all you can hear is bird song. And I love that. You won't hear that back home. And there is traffic in the background because I'm sandwiched between some of the main roads at the junction of the village, but they're not like the roads of the northwest where I live. I'm just watching the sky. Oh wow, there's a rainbow coming in. Hold on a second. Do you see the rainbow? Is that an ominous start to 2024? Look at the rainbow! Oh wow. That's a beauty. Look at that. No, it goes all the way over. Disappears down behind the hedge. Fantastic, look at that. I hope that's come out okay. It's going. Bye rainbow. It's fading. Sun rays. Make most of the sun rays while you've got them. Let's head home. I hope that your 1st of January has started without hangovers. I hope there wasn't too much indulgence last night. I'm too old and too lightweight for heavy indulgence. But we did have a glass of something bubbly at midnight. I don't go out for New Year. I spend it with Mum and Dad, and I quite like that. It's quiet. We watch the Bongs from Big Ben. We have a glass. We have a few Pringles and a few Kettle Crisps, and then we all go to bed. That's quite enough when you get to a certain age, isn't it? Yeah, that rain's kicking in again now. I'm going to go home. So yes, have a great rest of your 1st of January. I hope that for those of you going back to work tomorrow, it's not too painful. For those of you who like your jobs, great, good for you. For those of you that don't, I hope that 2024 brings you some inspiration to change your situation. I know it can be hard, and people say, oh, you're just making excuses. Change your job, and it isn't always that easy. and I would never tell you that it was. But if you see a glimmer of an opportunity to make changes that improve your life, it may be that you get a better job with slightly worse pay. If you're happier and you can negotiate those financial changes, do it. That's what I did. Less money, but I tweaked my lifestyle, and I'm significantly happier than I was when I was strapped to an office desk 9 to 5, 5 days a week, with people I had nothing in common with. So if you can make that kind of change, embrace it. If you love your job, go forth and enjoy your job. Go for it. Have a fantastic year and embrace the job. Whatever else you're trying to do, whether you're moving, learning a new skill, planning to learn a language, learn to knit, learn to ride a bike, whatever it is that you think is going to help your life this year, grab it, because the economic outlook for the country is not great for this year. If you look in for the subscribers channel, I've posted a link in the last couple of days from a channel called Gary's Economics. He's really good, and he gives his projection for the year, and it's worth taking note and making sure that within that you're able to negotiate the financial things that are coming. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to leave you with a beautiful holly tree that I've just spotted in someone's front garden. Bye bye, and I'll speak to you very soon.